Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We do this every morning, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. New York till whenever we feel we're done. And yeah, it's last day of 2025. We are expecting low volume today. Markets close at 1 p.m. If the last 2 days are any sign of what could be going on today, it could be a whole lot of chop and a whole lot of nothing. Yesterday, Meta had some news of acquiring Manus, which created a nice move in the morning. So that was a great little trade for yesterday, and that was really about it. There was one other one we had was ASTS, continuation off previous day high, which was okay too. Yeah, so just to go over some of the news and some of the things that are going on. On Friday, Tesla will be releasing its delivery numbers, so we'll be keeping an eye out for that. Hey Pete, going back to bed? Yeah, sounds good, man. Nice to see you. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, gonna be a quiet day, so good luck. And I liked your message you sent me. That was quite funny. You got to get that PL ratio up. Yep, that's that's a good thing. Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks so much for the support and showing up. Thanks, man. Anyways, guys, yeah. So Tesla delivery numbers on Friday. Uh, that's going to be a big thing. And there was some Nvidia news as well today, with they're needing to pick up more chips from TSM for the China demand is growing a lot. We will look at that story in a bit. We also have Michael Burry saying that Tesla is way overvalued, but that doesn't seem to be slowing the overall trend down of Tesla because of all the new emerging trends and markets that they're getting into with their battery tech and their FSD. The other thing is that Cybercab production has started. That's some big news for Tesla. There's a great video on that on their website, which is really cool. And if you didn't hear that Meta acquired Manus, that was pretty big news from yesterday. But we'll jump into the news today. Crypto, on the other hand, feels weak. It feels like we need to capitulate to the downside. We've been shorting BMNR and Coin and MSTR a lot over the past month. So we'll see. They look like they're setting up again for another down move today. We will take a look at that. Yeah, let's get into the economic calendar for the day and see what kind of anything on the schedule. I believe we have unemployment claims at 8:30, so that could be interesting. We have 219 forecast, and the previous was 214. That is 1,000. So yeah, that's it on the economic calendar today. Friday, there's just final manufacturing PMI, which will not be much. So markets are closed for New Year's tomorrow. So try not to be waking up and trading tomorrow because there is no market. So keep that in mind. So let's take a look at the odds of a rate cut on the 28th have gone to 17%. That's not very likely. I've read some articles saying that the vote is basically split down the middle. So compared to our last rate cut, where we had almost a 90% chance. This one is the opposite at 17% chance. So that's if that is any indication of a rate cut, there more than likely will not be one. So look at that as you will. Take that as you will. Let's jump into the CNBC News. We go over this every day. It is not one of the main sources that we really rely on for all the news, but it does have the big stories. We like to refer to Seeking Alpha, Benzinga, or the Interactive Brokers news feed for the news and our catalysts. But this will have the bigger stories. So the futures slip slightly as benchmark gets so close, gets set to close out 2025. Sorry about that. Big short investor Michael Burry says he's not shorting Tesla, but that Tesla is majorly overvalued. I think if they were just a car company and going on their numbers and their loss of sales, then yes, the stock would not be where it's at. It would be majorly overvalued. But where they're getting into all kinds of other adventures like FSD, battery storage for homes and for just battery storage, and their Optimus robot. So that seems really cool. Seen some videos on that, and their robot is just really looking good. So yeah, well, that's why I think that Tesla might not be overvalued, and I think other people agree with that. So let's just see the other stories. China is about to restrict silver exports, borrowing a page from the rare earth controls. That could have an effect on silver. Apple needs to deliver an AI charged Siri so good it gets older iPhone users to upgrade. Fed minute shows officials were in tight split over December rate cut. Okay, that's what we were just talking about, how the rate cut has a 17% chance, which is not good. Tech startup Hyphen is bringing AI to the lunch line. Very good. Home prices are getting slightly more affordable, but down payments are still holding home buyers back. Very good. Medicare drug price negotiations may save some retirees more than 50%. Okay. China accuses Netherlands of making mistakes over chip-making Nexperia. U.S. sanctions Iran. Europe's banks have a stellar year. Here, this was the big one. Meta acquires intelligent AI firm Manus. This was a story from yesterday, capping year of aggressive AI moves. And there was a nice little pop off the open on Meta yesterday. If you caught that, that was great. And yeah, China's manufacturing activity expands for the first time since March, beating expectations. Okay, very good. So you can see they don't have really a whole ton of stock market stories here. That's why we always look at the Interactive Brokers news feed, and we will bring that in right now. This is the Interactive Brokers news feed, which is strictly all stocks. I recommend you look at your broker for your news. It could have a really good news feed that you don't have to pay $300 a year for. People are always directed towards these expensive news feeds, but your broker probably has a good one like Interactive Brokers has. So check it out. The Michael Burry story again, with Tesla being majorly overvalued. So that is a debate that is going on right now. I believe that they are right where they should be, because all the new markets they're getting into, and we've listed them already. So space stocks surge on growing commercialization. That is great for the Rocket Labs and the ASTSs. But space stocks have been surging for a long time now, so that's not new, a new might be a new story, but the whole space theme has been very hot for months now. Beating Tesla in Europe, Chinese automakers take record share of EV market as BYD sales surge. That is not good for Tesla. China's AI appetite pushes Nvidia into a supply crunch. So this is what one of the stories was saying, that TSM is just really pushing out a lot of business, and Nvidia needed was going to be placing a huge order. Nvidia sounds out TSM on new Ethernet order chip as China demands jump. So let's take a look at this. Chinese firms have ordered 2 million H200 chips. Their demand for chips far exceeds inventory with Nvidia. TSM expected to start work on expanded output in Q2. Nvidia is scrambling to meet strong demand for its H200 artificial intelligence chips from Chinese technologies companies as it approached contract manufacturer TSM to ramp up production. This could be really good for TSM today, TSMC, and we will keep an eye on that. Elon Musk teases cyber cab scale up as robotaxi push accelerators. The cybercab production, has started. So that's a positive for Tesla. TikTok parent plans $14 billion Nvidia buying spree. This is really good for Nvidia today. BitDance, valued at $500 billion, plans $14 billion Nvidia chip investment in 2026 for AI and TikTok. It's developing rival chips to Douyin and cloud service. It's developing rival chips to NVIDIA. NVIDIA considers expanding H200 production for China. So this is putting NVIDIA in the spotlight again today. So China's largest internet companies are stepping up spending, ramping up its artificial intelligence spending, and plans to allocate 100 billion won, 14 billion to NVIDIA. This could be really good for NVIDIA today. So keep an eye on NVIDIA today. Keep an eye on Meta because of that acquisition yesterday. Keep an eye on TSM today because of their catalyst with their orders being ramped up by NVIDIA. So those are three kind of hot catalysts that you might want to pay attention to today in those bigger stocks. Michael Burry says Tesla ridiculously overvalued. Mr. Beast warns YouTube won't be easy to compete when it comes to competing on revenue for Elon Musk's X. They're the best platform. So he's pushing up YouTube and saying that X is going to have a tough time competing. Elon says his wealth is tied to Tesla and SpaceX. That is the reason. It's kind of a rebuttal to Bernie Sanders. Okay. NVIDIA eyes another talent-focused acquisition. They're looking for more qualified workers. This was a funny story. Musk goes macro hard as xAI plans to build third data center near Memphis. This macro hard is the exact opposite of Microsoft, and that's why he did that. So it's kind of pretty funny. ASTS, Space Mobile ASTS stock extends rally after satellite milestone. This is a really good thing for ASTS. They are up 250% year to date. And so ASTS Space Mobile recently confirmed the successful orbital launch of its Bluebird 6 spacecraft, now the largest commercial communications array in low Earth orbit. Cool. This is really good news for ASTS. This was from yesterday, I believe. And I think that's pretty much it. Planet Lab, common shares, okay. This is Light. Lumentum shares rise to intraday high after key trading signal. We've been looking at Light a lot. They're just a great trending stock. Yeah, so take a look at Light because they are really catching a lot of momentum. And I mean, this stock's been trending now for months, but it's really a great trending stock that I hold some shares of. So look into Light. It's been really great. Anyways, that is some of the bigger news stories. IONQ and RGTI, which quantum stock has the best risk reward? Okay. Quantum's had a pullback lately, but yeah. Very good. That's the bigger stories of today. We can take a look at some of these top stories up here. U.S. stock futures inch down in the thin trading. That's because the low volume, a little bit of a pullback, no big deal. I'm seeing it as a buying opportunity. Musk XAI buys third building to expand AI compute power. Disney agrees to pay $10 million to resolve alleged child privacy law violations. Okay. NVIDIA in advanced talks to buy Israel's AI21 labs for up to $3 billion. That's a pretty decent sized story. This was from yesterday. Yeah, look into this story. It's yeah, it's positive for NVIDIA, I believe. So that's about it. Okay, so that's the news, guys. Again, TSM, NVIDIA, and Meta had the story from yesterday. ASTS is hot. Yeah, Light is hot. So keep an eye on those moving forward. Let's jump into the charts. And we will start on the NASDAQ futures as always. There are some very interesting things going on here with the NASDAQ futures. We are in this big consolidation triangle. If you want to mark trend lines from the lows up, you can do that. And the top, we're just in this huge consolidation zone. So you want to wait for a break either way. But in the shorter term, we would really like to see this here, these highs, okay, and these highs, these lows, this whole entire zone right here, we'd like to see this reclaimed today. Okay, so if we zoom in a little bit, this is the more recent action, what we have, and this is a must reclaim level for me. This purple zone at 25,656 to 25,637. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that has to be reclaimed in order to get more continuation to the upside. But the first spot we're watching are those major previous highs from back here. This is the top of this down candle, and it is at 25,633. Okay? So this area must be reclaimed in order to get further continuation today. If we start to come into this area and you start to see this slowly roll over, that is not a good thing. Okay? You would like to see this here and then this, okay? So that's what we're looking for immediately on the NASDAQ futures today. Of course, we're watching previous day low and previous day high. And then we have this level here, which is the high of this huge engulfing, bearish engulfing candle. Just a massive engulfing candle here. We have the high of this. You could bring it down and do the whole wick if you want, but as you can see, we are exactly bouncing off of that this morning. So in order to get further downside, we have to break this level. That is the level I'll be watching to the downside. If we get under, come back and roll over. Okay? So this is ultimately my target. The 100 SMA will probably catch up here over time, and we could see this here. Okay? So to the upside, we are watching 25,633 to 25,657. This whole zone in here and previous day low. We want to judge the action in here. Okay? And then to the downside, it's the high of the bearish engulfer from here on the 20th of November. Okay? So if we start to reject here and roll over, you'll know we're going to have further downside. To the upside, we're just watching previous day high. I don't expect us to do much today. The volume is extremely low over the last couple days, and you can see we've really gone almost nowhere, right? So we had a little bit in the after hours last night, a little downside, which broke this level, which is kind of interesting. We would need to reclaim it, like I said, but don't expect any crazy wild moves today. Let's look at the QQQ. So the QQQ, we'll just zone out a little bit. It's doing the same thing. Like you could do this here, right? And you could do this here, and we are just consolidating in this right now. So a resolvent of these would be what you would want. I don't so much like to use diagonals, but in this case they're just glaringly obvious, and it tells me that we're consolidating, getting ready for the next move. So to the downside, those previous highs I mentioned are here at 614-ish, and you'd like to see that hold. But if we have to come down to the 100, down into here, that's okay too. You know, as long as we don't start breaking the 100 and make a new low compared to this low, we're still in pullback long territory. Let's zoom in here a little bit at this. So the action that we are seeing here on the QQQ is just very low volume, right? We're holding the 50, which is fine, but we're under the 20. So we're squeezed in between the 20 SMA and the 50. Ultimately, we want to see us get back above the high of the 15 December, which is 618.41. We want to reclaim this. We want to reclaim previous day low. We want to hold 618.41. We want to do something like this here, right? Okay, so that's what we're looking for immediately on the QQQ, is a reclaim of the high from the 15 December at 618.41. And we will reassess when we get that. Okay, and ultimately to the downside, we need to hold 613.20. This area here, this purple area. It's the major previous highs. Okay, but don't expect crazy movement today, as there is very low volume. Let's look at the ES. The ES is pulling back as well. Okay, I have the after hours turned on. The after hours on the pre-market on this chart. I've just taken away the division between the gray lines between the days, so it just cleans up the chart a little bit more. We are slightly more bullish on the ES we can zoom out here. You can see that we've made a higher high. So the trend line in this case doesn't work because we've made a higher high compared to this high. We are much more bullish on the ES and the S&P 500. So we have reclaimed the high from the 15th already on the ES. So if you're looking for to play the indexes today, the ES would be your candidate for longs. So we have held the 15th high already. We're holding the 20. Whereas in the QQQ and the NASDAQ, we're in between in here. We're down here somewhere in between the 20 and the 50. So much more bullish momentum on the ES and the SPY compared to the NASDAQ. And you want to see these levels start to get reclaimed. You want to see previous day low reclaim. You want to see value area reclaim. And you want to see previous day high reclaim in this major zone right here in the 69, 61s. Okay? You want to see us get back above that and show that we can hold above this. Like this, right? So that's what we're looking for on the ES. We also have a very interesting gap on the ES between 6908 and 6894. The extended hours are on. So on the after hour, when they're off, this would all be not here. This whole thing would not be here. And your gap goes from here to here. Okay. You'll see that on the SPY. I can actually turn the extended hours off and you will see there is your gap. Okay. And that might need to get filled in. We will we'll have to see. So let's turn this green. This is the SPY. We'll turn the extended hours on so we can see the pre-market action. We have held the bearish engulfer high. Okay. And we are continuing up on the SPY, of course. As you can see, compared to the NASDAQ, we are down in here on the QQQ. Okay. So we need to reclaim previous day low and reclaim this Wednesday low at 687.81 to show us that we will want to continue on the SPY. I also don't hate buying any pullbacks on the SPY into the 20 SMA, and even if this gap needs to get filled, the major level on the SPY is 674 down in here. It is these previous highs in here. And you can see we came down and we held this. So to the downside, you want to see 675 to 674 hold over the long term. But immediately you want to see the 20 and the bearish high, engulfer high from the 15th hold. So in order to get more downside today, we will have to get back under 685.72 and this bearish engulfer here, and we will be coming down into the 20 and we'll reassess there. But again, don't expect much action today because the low volume is present. So let's get into some individual names. NVIDIA had the news today, and it is I mean, it's not doing much in the pre-market, but it had some great news on more demand for their products, which in turn increases TSM's production and their demand, NVIDIA's demand for TSM products. So TSM could be hot today, along with Meta from that old news and ASTS. But let's look at NVIDIA first. So the after hours are turned on here. It's just that I took out the checkered look. It's just distracting. So we are just in yesterday's range on NVIDIA. This is previous day high and low. We are in range. So we would like one of these sides to break to get some kind of continuation. Okay. Ultimately, over the long term, I would love for Nvidia to come back into this 184.54 like this here. This is a huge level on Nvidia. We have major highs, major highs. This goes back all the way back into here. Look at this level. It is huge on Nvidia. So if we get any kind of pullback into this, I love that as a long. That would be a gift, an absolute gift, if we could come back into 184.50 and hold that. Okay, so set your alerts. I have amazing pullback long at 184.50. So watching that over time on Nvidia. Since we had that news today, we might not get that pullback today, but just keep it on your charts. 184.50 Nvidia. Meta had the news yesterday, which was great. And look at this off the open yesterday. Bang! We had a great move on Meta yesterday. If you guys caught that, that was amazing. So looking for any kind of continuation today on Meta, even a pullback long into 659.70 would be great. Something like this into previous day low, and the 20 and 50 SMA are here as well. So we could see this here. Meta's just setting these higher lows. So it's structuring to the upside. So that's any pullback is seen as a buying opportunity. As long as we don't break the 50 and the 20, I think we're fine. Or if you like buying into strength, the 200 SMA is huge right here. If you get over that and hold that, you could get some more upside. But just watching Meta for a play today, there's a million ways to play, to scalp. So I won't really get into like any all these different strategies and stuff. You know, you can trade off of VWAP, you can trade patterns, you can trade double bottoms, you can trade the 9 EMA and the 21 EMA. There's a lot of different ways to scalp. I love trading off of VWAP. I love trading the 9 EMA, previous day high, previous day low. And trading names that have catalysts is super important, because that's where you get your sustained trending moves. When you have these big news events or earnings, after earnings are over, I don't specifically like to play right before earnings or during earnings, but the next day is great. So matching up your catalysts with your technicals is the name of the game. Okay? That's why I try to bring you guys the hot stories of the day and show you the technical setups on the hot stories. Okay? Another place to find some of your alpha is on X. If you follow the right people, it can be very valuable. If you're following 1,000 people and it's all this junk, then it's no good. But you'll learn who the really good people to follow are if you spend a bit of time on the platform. All the guys from SMB Capital are great. You can start there. So, yeah, you'll realize who the good guys are after you've been on it for a while. TSM, you can actually go to Market M Live. You can see who I'm following, and those are some great guys to follow. I have maybe 70 guys that I follow, and they're all really top-notch guys. So that's a good place to start. So watching Meta for any kind of action today, although it will be low volume, you never know. You could get a move. So TSM had that great news story for demand from NVIDIA because of China ramping up their demand. So we'll see if TSM can get a lift today from that catalyst. Any pullbacks are buying opportunities as long as you are over 299 in these previous lows. Any kind of pullbacks are seen as buying opportunities. So anything like this is great. Even over the next few days, if we come back down into this action here and the 50, that could be seen as a great buying opportunity. So just watching TSM for any kind of pullback longs. There is a almost perfect double day high there from yesterday and the day before. We'll see if we maybe get over that and show a sustained hold over that. That could be good too. So just watching TSM because of that catalyst, that demand ramp up, guys. The next one is ASTS. We had a great trade on ASTS yesterday. We had a Rocket Lab trade as well. We took the opening drive and then we bought the pullback as well on ASTS. So we'll be watching if we can get any kind of continuation. This is a nice little trend that's forming on ASTS. As long as we can hold here at the 20 and these lows, we will be moving onwards and upwards. This is a major level here on ASTS at 70.40. It is these previous highs, these lows, this low. You'd want to see that hold for a continued upside. If we break that, then maybe we need a deeper pullback. But I will be watching ASTS today for immediate hold of this here and these previous highs. I love to trade it off VWAP, the 90 MA, and previous day high, previous day low, and any major levels like this and this. Okay? And this stuff just takes time, guys. You have to have screen time. There's no magic cure for screen time. It takes years to get really good at this, get comfortable with buying pullbacks, get comfortable. You see the trades better. You know, it's not a 6-month thing. It's not a 2-month thing. It's like a couple years, you know, like it's, sorry to tell you, but anyone that says they jumped into this for a month and made 100,000 or whatever dollars is probably lying to you. So it's difficult, you know. You have to spend many hours learning how to do this, building up your size, building up your risk tolerance, building up your strategies, finding catalysts, being good at marking out levels, which is not that hard, but you have to get good at that as well. It's not easy. And another thing too is just finding all the valuable information there is out there on the internet and sorting out the valuable stuff from the garbage. And there's a lot of garbage, but if you can find the valuable information, try to get 1% better every day, you will eventually, that turns into a lot of percent better, and that's how the game is played. Anyways, enough about that. We're watching ASTS today for any kind of continuation, whether it's off of VWAP or previous day high, previous day low, or this major 70.40 level. Okay, another hot stock is Rocket Lab. Of course, we have had a bit of a pullback on Rocket Lab. Yesterday was a nasty rejection. We did take some profits on this little push here, but ultimately I ended up selling the rest of my position down here at a loss. So it was a great trade. I should have taken all my profits early, but it just didn't make that sustained move I wanted. Luckily, I did take almost half my profits on the push, realizing that we were in low volume yesterday. Taking profits is extremely recommended right now because of how low volume we are. A lot of the pops get faded and a lot of the fades get popped up. So we are experiencing low volume right now. Take your profits quickly. The odds of a sustained directional move today is very, very low. You're best off just taking your profits and going. So on Rocket Lab, I'm looking for a reclaim of 72.74. If we can get that reclaim, or we can maybe take a cheeky long at previous day low. Ultimately, this pullback here, the 68.83, and my favorite pullback is at 65 even on Rocket Lab. I will show you why. Because these previous highs act as new lows when you break it. So we have broken these highs here, and we are maybe slowly pulling back into here. The 20 SMA at this time should be catching up to price. That is another sign of a time correction. Maybe Rocket Lab needs more of a pullback into the 20 SMA, and it needs time. So, keep this on your charts. 65 even on Rocket Lab. If you were willing to buy it in the 80s up here when it looked really hot and really, really up in here, looked really good, you should be even more excited to buy it at 65. So keep your eyes on 65 even on Rocket Lab. That is what I recommend. The next stock we will look at is Broadcom. Broadcom has been forming this great bottoming pattern after the huge sell-off from earnings. You can see Broadcom had a huge sell-off here. And then we formed this head and shoulders, reversal head and shoulders, and then we broke above it. So when we did that, that was a market structure flip on Broadcom. And right here, I'm looking for this to hold at 347.50. I've been adding to a small swing position on these pullbacks. Anything above the 100 SMA is great. This whole area, I'm great to buy pullbacks into this area. So just watching to get a retrace of this crazy downside that we had from earnings. So watching Broadcom for any pullbacks above the 100 SMA and this area in here. Next, we'll look at Amazon. Amazon is just like the talk of the town right now. Everybody in their dog is buying Amazon. They think Amazon's going to have a great 2026, and they very well could. They have all of the products. They have all of the amazing cloud, and they have just so many. They have their hands in everything. They have their AI. They're making all kinds of things, making their own chip stuff, and it's just a lot of people are building into this position, and you can see it on the chart. It just can't go lower, or it can't go high. We had a little pop yesterday, but I recommend picking up some of this stock, swing trade on this stock, and just maybe longer dated contracts, of course, maybe like a year out Amazon swings. I know a lot of people are doing that, so we'll be keeping an eye on Amazon for any kind of pullback buys. Microsoft is in kind of the same boat. We've been creating higher lows on Microsoft, and we have a low here, a low here. We are trying to create this low here. We are holding the 200 SMA, which is great. So I have a small swing position in Microsoft. I'm slowly building into this on pullbacks. A leap option for a year out, and I think Microsoft could have a really good 2026. We will see. I would love it to hold the 20. I'm not even scared of pullbacks into the 200. As long as we're above the 200 SMA, I'm going to be buying Microsoft, especially on a break over this key level here at 492.50. Any kind of break over that would just show a nice amount of strength to flip this level, get above, show strength, pull back and hold it, and then continue would be great. And we are showing that we want to do that right now. So watching Microsoft for pullback longs. Okay, so next I'm going to get into some stocks that are showing weakness. Crypto is showing weakness. Coin is showing weakness. And I have been fading every pop on coin for a while now. So yes, the time could be coming when coin does a nice big rally to the upside, but there's something very interesting on coin happening here. for today. We have a massive gap from 231 to 213 on coin. Does coin need to get filled in? Does this need to get filled in? This is my top opportunity for the next few trading days anyways. I think that coin might need to fill in this gap. So any break under previous day lows today on coin, even if we get a pop on coin into previous day highs, I'm very interested in shorts. Okay? This could be my top opportunity today. If we break previous day lows, retest, start to roll over, this could be a monster trade. And if this is any indication, we could get more. This would be a nice 8% down. Okay? That's a huge profit on options. So just watching coin today to fill in this gap. This is a pure gap. There's no price action from this gap up. Yes, we have this, but it didn't matter on this move, did it? So this is a nice gap here on this gap up from the 9th of May. Can we fill that gap in? We will see. But I will be watching this like a hawk today. Any pops, I will be fading as well. I'm not scared of pops on this. So if you size properly, you're all good. It's all about sizing. If you oversize into your pop buys and it rallies a little bit more, oh, you panic out, when really the overall bigger trend is saying, hold for that downside, So sizing is very important. So I'll be shorting any pops on coin. I know crypto is just kind of flat today. We're up 0.3 on Bitcoin and up 0.5 on ETH. That's really nothing in the crypto world. So we will see. We are showing weakness here this morning. The next one is BMNR. BMNR, again, has been weak. The whole rumors of Tom Lee saying, flipping his story on ETH, saying we're going to see more weakness in Ethereum. We might come down, to the 18 to 2000s on Ethereum over the next while, and it feels like we will. It doesn't feel great for the crypto markets right now. Yeah, we'll just have to see, guys. But any pops into 2888, I'll be fading on BMNR. Yesterday was just a pure fade all day. So just looking for good entries on BMNR. And again, any entries off the 9, the 21, EMAs, or the VWAP is great. The 2-day VWAP is great. There's tons of different ways to scalp the market. I don't want to get into the 100 different ways to do it, but yeah, I just want to bring you the hot names with potential to make moves. Easy money trades, they call them at SMB. And I fully recommend you guys following SMB Capital. They are a great, real prop firm in New York City. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they are the best in the biz. So they have a lot of great content. Yeah, there you go. Next on my short list would be Nibius. We have this straight up move from the 19th December. We have broken previous day lows. Any pops into 86.60 would be seen basically as short opportunities. We are not going to get sustained moves today, I do not believe. So pops are to be faded. We will, yesterday was the perfect pop fade opportunity. I'll be watching NBIS for any short activity today. Even if we get under previous day low and show weakness like this, we can retrace all of this down into here. That's a great profit on an options trade. Or any pop into this key level here. You can see these lows, these high, all these highs here. Any weakness in here when we roll over. So watching NBIS today. Palantir looks weak today as well. We have broken previous day lows. We are right into this kind of level here, the 50 SMA as well. So watching Palantir for any shorts, maybe a pop into the 50 SMA or a break of VWAP for a short, but we will have to see. APLD. Okay, APLD is holding previous day low. We have had some great movement on APLD. It's just kind of been hot. People have been watching this name. It has a lot of options movement, and if we can reclaim the highs from the 17th December, then I don't mind. APLD had a nice move that was faded yesterday, of course, because everything was faded yesterday. But even starting a cheeky little long off previous day low, I don't hate on APLD. And then ultimately getting back above this reclaim level, it is this double top here. That's a flip of market structure and hold here, okay? So just watching APLD, it has some nice movement. It did fade quite hard yesterday. So watch for that. That's why I like the reclaim of 25.18 on APLD. Tesla. Tesla is a wild, wild beast. We know that. Options movement on this stock is absolutely insane. So be careful. But Tesla has sold off since hitting its all-time highs, equal highs basically. So we could be looking for a bounce on Tesla anytime now. We do have some key levels to the downside, 450 and 440. I like those. They're nice even numbers. We also have the highs from right here, the highs from the 5th of December, which we are kind of rejecting at the moment. We will have to see. Tesla, I like a reclaim of previous day high in the 20 SMA because it is showing weakness. You want it to show you strength. Okay, reclaim the 20 SMA and previous day high. Again, I love to mark out previous day high, previous day low on all my stocks because it shows me where we are at compared to the previous day. Another thing that you guys might want to get into is using an anchored VWAP. Anchored VWAP is a great tool. I know the guys at SMB use it all the time. You can set your VWAP to be anchored to any day you like. One of their favorites is the 2-day VWAP to show you the prior day action. And it's just a great tool to get into using. So look into anchored VWAP. It's not hard to find on TradingView. It's just called anchored VWAP. And you can put in the day, you can put in any metric that you want, and you can follow the 2-day VWAP. It's great for a trending stock. Okay. So the next one I would like to look at is HUT. It is a crypto mining kind of a play, and we have failed these major lows and this high here. So we'll be looking for a retracement into that level for a short. This would be a break and retest short. We have this here, okay, and we were looking to get back into this to then come down. Okay, it's just a flip of market structure. You can see where before we were holding here, we came down, we held it, we held it, we held it, we broke it here. You look for a retest and a rollover, okay? Because crypto is a little bit weak these days, so we will see about that. The next stock I'm looking at is Light. I'm actually bullish on Light. So this is not going to be a short opportunity. This is a pullback long. And the reason I like it is because it's hot. It is in the fiber optic world for data centers. And I love this level here and the 20 SMA. It is these previous highs. Okay. We were rejecting here. We held here. Then we broke above. And we might need to come back into here and the 20 SMA. Okay. So watching 347.80 on Light, you can see that over time, look how well we have respected the 20 on our move up. Bang, bang. Can it happen a third time? We will have to see. But put this line on your charts, guys. 348 on Light. We might need a pullback into that and the 20 SMA for a nice little swing on Light. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it for today, guys. Again, we are low volume. Let's take a look at one more. Google. People have been acquiring this. It's had some great news articles. It has broken out of its downtrend. You can see we had this slow grind pullback. We've recently broke out of it. And we are holding the 20 and we're trying to create higher low. Yeah, I like Google. It has always has positive news catalysts. They're doing really great things. And I think I like this stock for 2026. I'll be buying this in my long term at any pullbacks. And yeah, so that's about it for today, guys. We could go over more, but it's just such a low volume day that I don't believe we will be experiencing much movement today. Thank you guys for showing up. Let me just do one. Let's look back at the NASDAQ for a second. Okay, we're stalling out right at our important level of the day, which is 25,633. We want to see the market get above that for continuation. We want to see it break above and hold. Okay, if not, we start to see weakness here and we roll over. But you want the break. Okay, and then the break and the retest and long. So we'll be watching this key area on the NASDAQ futures. It is a super important area. We will have to see what happens there. To the downside again, this bearish engulfing top here is huge. It was a massive downside move here. So to have reclaimed this and now retest it, that's a good thing. Watching this level, 25,558 for a hold today. If we can get it, if we break below it, that's not good. We would take a retest short there, down into the 100, maybe has to catch up, down into here, and then we turn. Okay, that's gonna be about it for today, guys. Thanks for showing up. It's gonna be low volume day today, so market closes at 1 o'clock. Have a fantastic day. We do this every day. If you want to join the Discord, the link is on the channel. We're there every day, chatting markets, trading, hanging out. I do a lot of sim racing too, so we're always into that. And yeah, just if you want to talk markets and learn this stuff, just show up and you'll learn a lot. Some great guys there. And we do this every day, 7 a.m. New York. Thank you so much for showing up. Any questions you have, any comments, just join the Discord and send them to me. I'm there all the time. You can talk to me on voice. It's completely free. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.